This place, it feels familiar. Not in form, but in weight. The kind of stillness that comes after a battle, when the noise is gone, but the consequences remain.
That's because this isn't a place. It's a moment. The kind you don't get to escape once everything you've done finally catches up with you.
Then we are both where we are meant to be.
I've heard of you, the enforcer, the one who believed in rules above all else.
I did. I believed structure was the only thing separating order from chaos. That if everyone simply followed the code, the outcome would take care of itself.
And let me guess, you learned it wasn't that simple.
I learned that rules can guide you, but they cannot carry the weight of every decision. Eventually, you have to decide who you are protecting and what you are willing to become to do it.
That's where you and I agree. Because when everything is on the line, when you're staring down something that cannot be reasoned with, you don't have the luxury of hesitation. You act, you take control. Because if you don't, people die.
Control is not the same as protection.
No, but it's often the only way to achieve it. When Salem revealed herself, when it became clear that Atlas was a target, I had two choices. I could trust that everyone would rise to the occasion, or I could ensure that they did. I chose certainty. I chose to remove variables.
I understand that instinct more than you might think. When I first took command alongside Optimus Prime, I saw deviation as a threat. I enforced discipline. I issued orders without room for interpretation. And in doing so, I nearly tore apart the very team I was meant to lead. I mistook compliance for unity. I believed that if everyone simply followed my direction, the mission would succeed.
And wouldn't it have?
No, because I had stopped listening. I had stopped seeing them as individuals with insight, with instincts, with perspectives I did not possess. I reduced them to pieces in a system. And systems do not adapt well when reality refuses to cooperate.
You're talking about a team, a handful of soldiers. I was responsible for an entire kingdom, for civilians who didn't understand what was coming and wouldn't have believed me if I tried to explain it. When trust started to fracture, when secrets were kept, when plans were questioned, I saw exactly where that path led. Hesitation, division, collapse. I couldn't afford that. Not when the stakes were that high.
So you decided for them?
I decided for survival.
At what point did you stop protecting your people and start controlling them?
The moment I realized that leaving the decision to them would cost more lives than taking it into my own hands.
Or the moment you stopped believing they were capable of standing with you?
Trust is fragile. It only works when everyone is aligned. When they're not, it becomes a liability.
No, it becomes a test.
A test people fail.
Sometimes, yes. But that does not mean you remove the choice entirely. When I served under Optimus Prime, I saw what true leadership looked like. He trusted others, not because it was safe, but because it was necessary. Because without that trust, you are not leading people. You are managing outcomes.
And what happens when that trust is broken? When the people you rely on withhold the truth? When they undermine the very plan meant to save them? I trusted them. I shared everything I had built, every safeguard, every strategy, and they still chose to act against it.
Out of fear.
Exactly.
Fear does not make them your enemy.
No, but it makes them unpredictable. And unpredictability gets people killed.
You are not wrong about the danger, but your conclusion is flawed. You saw fear and chose control. Optimus would have seen fear and chosen reassurance, guidance, unity.
And if that failed?
Then we would have faced that failure together.
That sounds admirable. It really does. But when you are the one responsible, when every outcome traces back to your decision, failure is not shared. It is yours. Every life lost, every mistake, every moment of hesitation, it all comes back to you. So you start eliminating the things that could go wrong, one by one.
Until there is nothing left but your own judgment.
Exactly.
And that is the moment protection becomes control. Not when you take action, not when you make difficult choices, but when you decide that only you are capable of making them.
So what would you have done?
I would have trusted them, even knowing they might fail.
That's not an answer. That's a risk.
Yes, it is. But leadership is not about removing risk. It is about deciding which risks preserve who you are and which ones cost you everything.
And if trusting them meant losing everything?
Then at least you would not have lost yourself in the process.